Hey guys, so in this video, you're going to learn the main reasons why you're not generating enough leads. So my name is Harry Ramsay and I'm the founder of Zenquest Digital. Now, coming back to my topic, why aren't you generating enough leads? So a strong leads pipeline, a strong pipeline of leads is essential in order for a business to be successful, because it's the leads, when you convert them, end up creating sales, and sales in turn creates revenue, and revenue in turn leads to profit. So having a strong stream of leads coming into your business is one of the most fundamental keys to success. However, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businesses really struggle when it comes to leads. They don't have a strong enough lead pipeline. Why is it? I'm going to give you the 5 main reasons why this happens. So the first mistake, or the first reason why a lot of entrepreneurs fail when it comes to having a strong lead pipeline, is because they're trying to represent too many categories. So when they are going out there and talking to customers, or talking to prospective customers, or when they are doing their social media promotions, or when they are writing their articles, or when they are circulating their newspaper brochures, what they're doing is they're trying to say that they are this all-in-one person that can do everything and anything in that particular industry. While it's really great that you can do all of these things, and you're going to get a lot of customers where you want to do all of these things for them, okay, it's very important to understand that people don't look for all house, in-house, or complete full suit solutions all the time. Instead, they're looking to fix something very specific, very small, and then as soon as that small thing is fixed, they end up converting, and then they end up giving you the entire package. So to give you one example, let's say you are a chartered accountant, or let's say someone is a chartered accountant, and that person in turn is ideal client is business owners or companies. And as a result of that, what he's doing is he's talking about doing end-to-end accounting. He's saying he's taking care of professional tax, he's taking care of GST, he's taking care of book of accounts, he's taking care of returns filing, etc., and CACS work, everything all together. Now the problem is, there are very few companies that are looking for solutions to that particular problem. Most companies, in fact, already have a chartered account they've tied up with for some of these services. But rather, they are more interested in a specific solution. So it could be company registration, or it could be GST return filing, or it could be something like professional tax. You see, and it's only when you represent and when you say that you're able to solve these specific problems for these entrepreneurs, will you be able to attract these people. You got it? Okay. But instead, if you say that you're an all-in-one end-to-end solution provider, okay, the number of customers that you're going to get is going to be very few, because people out there are not looking for end-to-end solutions. Rather, they have specific problems which they are trying to fix. Another scenario from a B2C perspective would be, let's say, you have a plumbing supply store. So when you have a plumbing supply store, obviously you have all the plumbing equipment that anybody would want for their entire house. But when people first visit your store, sometimes there are people who want to purchase plumbing for their entire house and they want to install everything at once. But then there are a lot of scenarios where people are looking for specific things, like to fix the bathroom's uh, pipe, or they're looking to fix the commode, or something of that sort. So the thing is, in the real world, there's a lot of these specific smaller customers who are looking for specific problems. And when you appeal to these specific problems that people have and try to offer to solve them, that's when you'll be able to attract them. So start by getting specific, start by being more specialistic. Okay, I'll give you another example. So the other day I was at a BNI meeting. So I'm a part of BNI, Business Networking International. So over there I happened to meet a corporate lawyer who does non-litigation cases. So I didn't know what that meant. I didn't even think about what it is, and I didn't even think I would need his services. But then a week later, he says, even though he's a corporate lawyer, he does trademarks. And that's when I realized that I have got to register a couple of trademarks for my brand. And as soon as he said that word, it registered in my head and I went to him for business. So you see, even though he was a corporate lawyer and he handles a lot of things, I'm pretty sure he handles more than corporate trademarks. He handles patents, he handles a bunch of other things as well, documentation, etc. But I didn't know all of those things. It was when he mentioned that specific thing, which is trademarks, it struck my mind, thinking that he can really solve my problem. You see, so in a lot of categories, the thing is, most of your customers do not know all these different things that you represent. They're looking for just one specific thing. So what you need to do is you need to get more specific with your offering. So if you want to have more leads, learn to get more specific. Now, the second reason why a lot of people have difficulty generating enough leads for their business is because they do not have a documented strategy in place. They do not have a structured marketing approach. You see, whenever I go to a lot of business meetings, whenever I go to meet a lot of clients, I ask them what other marketing strategies have they tried before, and is there a documentation of that? And as soon as I ask that question, they are like, we don't have any such documentation, but I can tell you, I can tell you, like, you can speak to the finance person, you can speak to the person from the finance team, and he'll be able to tell you how much revenue we generated from ABC campaign and how much we were able to get from the other campaign that they ran. But we don't have any other such information. You see, this is a big problem because marketing is something that's so uncertain. You're dealing with people and people change all the time. So as a result of that, the marketing strategies that you're going to be using are going to vary over a period of time. Today you might be using newspaper or brochure. Tomorrow you might be using TV ads. Tomorrow you might be using digital marketing, or you might be using some other medium. So whatever that medium it is, it's important to have a structured strategy. It's important to have a structured approach and document everything that you do. And then you'll have to measure these things. The reason why measurement is so important is because you'll only know when something is working when you measure it. And when you do that consistently over a period of time, you'll be able to understand what are those specific elements that produce the best type of results. And then you'll be able to pack up your marketing campaigns effectively. So it's important to have a documented marketing strategy in place, regardless of whatever that you're trying to do. All right. So now the third mistake that a lot of entrepreneurs make that prevent them from having a strong lead pipeline is they end up trying to do too many marketing strategies. So you see, for an entrepreneur, they're like, I want to get customers as soon as possible and I want to grow as much as possible. So let's do everything, or let's do very little of everything. So if someone has a lot of money, they'll be like, let's do everything. Or if they have very little money, they'll be like, let's do little of everything. And then they suddenly start. So all of a sudden, when they realize that they need to meet payroll and they need to get customers, they're out there sending out SMS blasts. And then they're out there sending out emails. Then they're out there sending social media posts. And then they're out there circulating newspaper brochures or going to meetings and then trying to talk to people, or calling up customers and asking them to refer them to someone. You see, they're just so wild, and then they just go crazy, and then they meet some sales target, and then after that everything is stopped. They don't do anything. So when you do this, what's happening is you're really being inconsistent. So what happens is you're trying a very scattered approach. The problem with this kind of scattering is that it does not create enough visibility for you in front of your target audience. You see, when it comes to sales, when it comes to succeeding with marketing, credibility is the end goal of marketing. So people must think that you're a credible person and they must want to buy from you. You see, that is what you're trying to do. You're trying to get them to become a lead. So when you're trying to become a lead, it's very important that you build credibility, and you can only build credibility when you have significant visibility. And you can only have visibility when you have a set of marketing strategies and you're able to apply them on an effective basis in a consistent manner. You see, it's not in a half-assed manner. So this month, you're suddenly, on the first 2 days, you're sending out texts, and then for the next 15 to 20 days, you're not doing anything. All right? Or suddenly you're sending out emails, and then for 3 months, people don't even hear from you. You see, those things are very inconsistent. Those are trying to do too many marketing strategies. As a result, you're doing nothing. But instead, what you need to do is you need to adopt a more systematic and structured approach. where you're consistent. If you're sending out emails, be consistent in sending out those emails to people. If you are sending out social media posts, or you are going to be doing content, or you're going to be running ad campaigns, be consistent with that. Because only when people see you over and over again are they going to be able to resonate with you, and then they'll buy from you. So remember, this is the golden rule. Okay, the end goal of marketing is to create credibility, and you create credibility with visibility, and you achieve visibility with consistency. So that's the end goal. So if you're trying too many things at the same time, you're just pushing yourself to a wall, and you'll be unable to do anything. So it's important to adopt a structured approach based on what works and what is working, and then continue doing that consistently. So that's really the key. Now, apart from that, what a lot of entrepreneurs also do is that they go for the sale immediately. So as soon as they market and they get a lead, what they try to do is they immediately try to convert that sale. The problem with that is, so there was a point of time when people were proactively looking for products or services, and they would immediately buy. But that's just a small percentage of people. The rest of them, they're really checking you out. They're not really completely convinced about you, but they're just checking you out. So when they're just checking you out, the chance of conversion tends to reduce. And in order for that, here's what you need to do. What you need to do is you need to create value. So you need to add value. So let's say a prospect comes. So instead of telling them that you offer these services and they can buy them from you at so and so price, you tell them the mistakes people make with that type of service, and how they can prevent that, and how they can best get effective results from this, and then guide them through a process, and then tell them that you can help them. So going back to the GST consultation process, GST registration. So instead of just pitching to a customer saying that I offer GST registration for a prospect, and then saying GST registration and this one is at so and so price, GST filing is at so and so price, and this is what it is, take it or leave it. You instead give them a digital guide, okay, which tells them GST registration for new companies, the ultimate guide to GST registration for new companies. And then in that guide, what you do is you talk about the importance of GST registration. Why is GST required? What are the consequences if GST is not registered? The mistakes people make when it comes to GST registration, and how you can effectively solve them. And then you talk about your company being able to do GST registration. That's educating and creating value. Similarly, when it comes to, let's say, professional tax, you talk about the mistakes people make with professional tax, new companies make with professional tax, why compliance is delayed, why, because you will not be able to get your login details. There are so many issues. As a result of that, you will not be able to do deductions. So for that, how you can solve it, you give them some tips, and then you tell them you can help them. You are qualifying those leads by sending out a PDF file, okay, by sending out a lead magnet that basically educates them. So as soon as people consume it, they are more convinced and they start trusting you a little more. So as a result of that, when the leads do come in, you end up converting them successfully and profitably. So these are the common mistakes people make, which prevents them from generating leads, and this is how you solve them. So mistake number one, or reason number one, is because you're trying to be too broad and trying to represent too many categories. The second mistake people are making is they don't have a documented marketing strategy, and they're not measuring everything that they're doing. The third mistake that prevents them is they are trying to adopt a scattered approach where they're trying too many things. Again, they're trying too many things. So one is not having a documented strategy, and then they're trying to do too many things. Then which in turn prevents consistency, which in turn stops consistency. Now, the fourth mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make is they do not deliver value. Instead, they try to go in for a sale immediately, which rarely happens in this day and age. So in order to solve this, what you need to do is you need to represent key categories. You need to focus on solving problems for people, offering to solve problems for people. Second is you have to have a clear documented marketing strategy, and you're going to stick to that process and then be consistent. You're not going to follow a scattered approach. You're going to stick to a couple of things that you think will add value, and then start being consistent with that and start measuring everything that you do and measuring the performance. And then the fourth thing is to focus on delivering value upfront. So when you do these four things, you'll be able to generate a lot of quality leads, and then you'll be able to convert those quality leads into customers successfully. So with that, I wish you the best for your business. This is Harry Ramsay here, signing off. Thank you. Bye.